All right, all right. Hello, everybody. We are live. It is your girl, Michelle Canon. Hello. How are you doing today? I'm actually like a little high. I'll talk about like being energetically high because there is like a huge controversy that is going on in this Facebook group that I'm in over this post that I made where women are a lot of them are agreeing and they're like, yeah, but a lot of them are kind of losing their shit because they're super triggered about something that they think that I said about blame and shame when it comes to your man. Now, first of all, what I want to say is welcome to my live. Today we're talking about figuring out if you are cock blocking your man energetically, maybe sexually, maybe emotionally, and what to do about it if you're having that experience where you're not able to receive or you're not getting what you want from your masculine partner. So let me give you a little caveat here for those of you that are feeling trigger happy today. I'm not here to blame or shame anyone. I'm here for women that want to take full responsibility for themselves and feel empowered in your relationships. And this is especially for women that feel like they need to or they have to get their man to do something or be something or act a certain way in order for you to be happy or in order for you to have the relationship that you want. And it's actually totally not true. Because what you realize, what women I work with realize, is how much power we have within ourselves. And when we take full 100% responsibility, we can create massive change and massive ripple effects in our relationships. One of the things that I teach is about having a 100-100 relationship, right? Most people will tell you about having a 50-50 relationship or compromising or meeting in the middle. But guess what? When we do that, when we diminish ourselves, when we accept less than what we want or less than what we deserve, we start to get resentful. We start to feel unmet. We start to feel shrunken down. We start to feel like we're choking or we're dying or like we just need more. And when we do that over time in our relationships, nobody's happy. Right? If you're only 50% happy, if you're always meeting in the middle, if you're always compromising, if you're always neutralizing everything so that everything is equal, it diminishes you can call it the polarity or the pull or the different energies or opportunities coming together to make something even better than what you could do on your own. So if you know what I'm talking about, leave a comment. Also, I see some of you are popping on. So, hey, if you're here, leave me a comment. Let me know that you're here. Let me know what is making you interested in watching this today. And we're going to be talking about understanding for yourself. If you, in your 100% responsibility in relationship, are doing anything or showing up in any certain way that is actually getting in the way of your man giving you what you want and need, but also it doesn't feel good for you, because a lot of times when we are a block, when we feel like a block, when we feel like we're stuck, when we feel like we're getting in the way, it also doesn't feel good for us too. And for so many of us, we're so clear about what we want from our partners, what we want him to do, how we want him to act, how we want him to dress, how we want him to surprise us, what we want him to say. Like, we have a lot of clarity on what we would want, right? But then we can feel frustrated when we're not getting met in that place, right? When he's not meeting us there, when he's not doing it the way that he's supposed to be doing it, when he's not doing it when we want him to do it in the way that we would do it, right? A lot of us busy, successful, visionary, dominant, energetic kind of women, right? We can always see what is like the best way to do something, what's the right way to do something, what's the most efficient way to do something. And we can be very clear on the results that we want, how we want it to go, how we want it to be. And then we can get obsessed with that, right? Which can also neutralize or get in the way of a lot of other awesome opportunities or possibilities showing up for ourselves. And so some of us, right, if we feel, right, so first of all, if you read the title of this live and you were like, oh my God, is that me? Chances are, yeah, probably there is something that you're doing that is getting in the way, that is being a block. God is raining the sunshine down on me while I'm talking. But I want you, first of all, if that bothers you, what I want you to practice right now is dropping the shame of it, dropping the guilt of it, dropping the feeling of being triggered, like, or blaming yourself for it, right? Because if we can just accept that, right, that we have full autonomy and full responsibility in our relationships, what's really cool and really empowering about that is that we can show up differently. We can try different tactics. We can do different things, because a lot of us, right, the things that we're doing in our relationships that we don't like and that don't feel good for us, that is probably what is getting in the way. That is probably what is causing you to be doing that cock blocking, okay? And you don't have to do that. So many women are doing things in their relationships, and I'm sure you could leave me a lot in the comments. Leave me just a couple of ideas of things that you're doing that you don't want to do, right? Maybe you're managing the household schedule. Maybe you're planning all of the dates. Maybe you're always cleaning up after everybody. Maybe you are the one that's like the timekeeper and making sure everybody's not late and running the schedule. And like, maybe you are handling a lot of emotional labor. Maybe there's a lot of that on your shoulders and you don't want to be doing that, okay? You continuing to do things and do those things in ways that don't feel good for you are opportunities for you to be like, hey, wait a minute, this doesn't feel good for me. I don't like this and I don't want to do this. How can I stop to do that? How can I start instead to show up differently so that I can create a space for my partner to join me, to join me as a partner in creating something new and different, where he has the freedom and the opportunity to show up in his power, in his confidence, in his pleasure, in his desire, and in his mission-driven purpose energy to create, to do, to lead, to guide, to show up, to support, and do all of the amazing zone of genius things that he was built for, that he desires to do, that feels good for him and is part of his purpose in life too. So hit me in the comments. You can let me know. There's, again, nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to feel guilty or bad about if you know that this is something that you're doing in your relationship or something that you're experiencing. Like literally the reason that I'm teaching this, aside from the fact that doors are open for my Goddess Wife School right now, which is at goddesswifeschool.com, is because this is what goes on or has gone on in my relationship. And I've had to learn myself from these mistakes or these ways of being that I knew how to do or how to be based on societal conditioning, based on what I saw in my mom and my parents' relationship and other relationships, that taught me in my mind, like, oh, like this is the way a powerful woman is. This is the way that a strong woman is. This is the way that like a dominant, busy, go-getter kind of woman is. And to recognize how I was 100% part in a 100-100 relationship of co-creating that reality, of co-creating that dynamic that honestly didn't feel good to me and also didn't feel good to my partner, because there's this like belief out there, right? that like either he gets what he wants or I get what I want. And it's totally garbage. It's totally bogus, right? This isn't like a yes or no, all or nothing. This is an opportunity for you to show up and understand, like, okay, maybe there's things that you're doing in this relationship. Maybe there's ways that you're showing up energetically. Maybe there's things that you're taking the lead on that you don't want to, that don't feel good for you, that aren't giving you what you want or need anyway, and that are not allowing your partner to show up the way that you deeply wish that he would, and also that he deeply wishes that he could too. And again, if you want to be like, but hey, it's not my fault, and hey, I don't have to, and he's supposed to, and you want to like fight about it, I invite you to go within yourself and ask why the push needs to be there, why the fight in you needs to be there. And instead, when it would be so much easier to just be like, okay, let me see, right? There's two people in this partnership and I am one of those people that is in this relationship. Am I actually fully showing up how I want to? Do I feel as good as I want to feel? Am I spending my time doing the things that I really want to do? What's my energy like? Do I want to be go, go, go all the time? Do I want to be the one in charge all the time? Do I want to be the one that's organized and running the show and figuring out a million things? And is that in my desire? Is that in my pleasure? Is that doing me good? And is it doing my partner good? And most of all, most of the time, what my clients realize and what women inside of my Goddess Wife School realize is no, that whatever actually doesn't feel good for you is probably also not feeling good for your partner, because contrary to the popular narrative that is out there, your man wants you to be happy. Your man wants you to be doing things that feel good for you. When you are lit up, when you are turned on, when you are feeling amazing, when you are feeling expansive, when you are welcoming, when you are soft to him, when you are receptive, he wants to show up more. He wants to give you more. He wants to join you more in creating together. That is the amazing opportunity of, hey Shane, partnership. That is the amazing opportunity of what happens when two people get to come together. Relationship for many people is trying to figure out some kind of like balance where like you maintain and sort of stay together and like, you know, eke by day, but relationship can be so much more than that. It can be when you come together as your highest and best in a way that feels really good for you. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about 100-100 relationships. Instead of stepping on each other's toes, getting involved in someone else's business when you don't have to, micromanaging, nagging, over planning, trying to decide exactly how it's supposed to be in order to be right, in order to be good, what time it's supposed to happen, how quick something's supposed to take. This is something that so many women are doing, and we're used to doing that in our businesses and our professional lives, like out in the world. But when it comes to relationships, yo, we don't want to do that. You don't want necessarily to have to do that. You don't want to be the dominant one all the time. You don't want to be in charge all the time. You don't want to have to be the motor that's running the show all the time. And you don't necessarily know how to get out of that mode. And there's nothing to be ashamed of, because we never learn that. We never learn how to do that in our relationships. Most of us are emulating trauma responses from like our mothers of how they have to be in relationship just to get by. But where you are right now, most of you, you're not in a place where you're together with your partner because of fear. You're not in a place where you're together with your man because of survival even. You're in a place where you're together with your man because you love each other and you're coming together to create something. So how can you, it's in your best interest, what can you do in your partnership with the man that you love? What can you do? What do you get to do that allows him, that creates a space, an opportunity for him to be his best, for him to be his freest, his most expressed, his most confident, from love, right? That you would do that from love for the man that you're with. And especially as a genius, as a genius, of course you would do that for yourself. Because if you're part of creating those ideal conditions where your man is in his power, it ripple effects back to you in 1,000,001 ways. His support, his strength, his leadership, his involvement, his love, his witnessing of you, his space holding gives you back an infinite amount of energy and possibility, way beyond what you can do alone. Because of course, two resource people that come together, of course you have double the resources. Of course you have infinite possibilities when you really know how to join forces together to co-create, right? And so if you have a suspicion that you are cock-blocking your man, if you clicked on this to watch and you're just like, I don't know what she's talking about, but like, let me hear this. If you're in a partnership and you just know that you want it to be the best, your invitation here is, how do you get to be your best? And that's not in the trauma response way of, having to hustle, having to push, having to be healed, having to be perfect. It's not any of that. What it is about feeling your best, being your most magnetic, your most juicy, your most delicious. And for many of us, it means leaning back. It means leaning back and letting go and creating a space for your man to be the partner that you want him to be without you getting in the way, without you needing to get involved, overly get involved even, and seeing what happens. And this is a practice, but where it can come from, instead of a self-hate place or am I good enough or am I worthy or any of those kinds of inner wounding place, it can really come from a love place where you love yourself enough to let go of being responsible, let go of needing to manage, let go of needing to be involved, and trusting him, learning how to really trust him and empowering him in that way because you love him and you love yourself and you want the most amazing relationship that you can have. So if you want to learn how to do this, the doors are open right now for my legendary Goddess Wife School, and that's at goddesswifeschool.com. This program is incredible. I have hundreds of testimonials, so many happy women. You're going to see some interviews from my alumni this week and next week as your invitation to join. It's a beautiful 10-week program with the most incredible women that come in because you really want to have a different relationship experience where you get to lean back. You get to receive, you get to feel your man's king energy enter the relationship, and you get to really be a goddess in the way that feels good for you, that empowers you to have the relationship that you want, and for your man to be the real partner that you want it to be. Because remember, your man wants to be your hero. Your man wants to be the source of your happiness. He wants to be that source of stability for you and provide for you, okay? And not in some necessarily antiquated 1950s housewife kind of way, unless you're into that, in which case, cool, you know, do whatever you want. I'm not here to tell anybody the kind of relationship they're supposed to have and what feminine energy is supposed to look like and how you're supposed to be. I'm here to give you the keys. I'm here to give you the tools and the teaching so that you can have the relationship that you want instead of what so many women are going through, which is feeling overburdened, like everything's on your shoulders, like you have to be the boss and handle things all the time, and you don't. You don't. So if you are interested in letting go of that responsibility, letting go of that burden, letting go of forcing yourself to white knuckle it, to push it, and to be in a relationship where you're holding it together, and instead have a relationship where you're truly meeting each other in your highest and best to co-create together, where you never compromise, where you build the dream life that you want together from a place of feeling good, you get to be your most empowered, and so does he. That's what Goddess Wife School is all about. I hope you join me inside. If you have any questions, you can shoot me a DM. We have a few VIP spots left, and we start in just a few days. So get your spot in there, and I'm excited to see you. And I will be back tomorrow. I'm going live every day at 222 to talk about different topics and teachings from Goddess Wife School. So even if you don't join this round, you're going to get a lot of value from these videos. If you like what you saw, please leave a comment and share this. Tag any friends that need to see this, any women that feel like they're doing too much in their relationship, aren't getting what they want and need from their man. This is your initiation. This is your invitation to do less, to receive more, just to get out of his way, get out of your way from having everything that you want. Okay. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.